Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm just gonna be doing a quick little sketch. And that's because I'm actually working on 2 videos right now. I've been working also on my oil painting video, but that's gonna be such a long time for me to finish. Now I'm just gonna be doing my a quick little sketch, and I'm taking it with me because I also want to talk about how perfectly these 2 art supplies complement each other. And in theory, none of these 2 art supplies really are anything so special. This first one is just my Flexstick ballpoint pen, and it's basically just any pen that's red. But it has so many qualities about it that make me just want to sketch with it more than anything. And the first one is that it's buildable. So I start off with my very initial stages of my sketches with light strokes and build it up to be darker. But it being a pen makes it in nature be unforgiving. But that also just makes me want to own it. When I'm drawing with it, I'm sort of using these jerky movements with my wrists, and those movements really make it work for drawing clothes and the folds in them. And it also just gives me this look that it makes it look raw, and I really like that and that quality in my sketches. It's not gonna work all the time for all of my artworks, but with my sketches, I want to look back to them and see where I messed up and see where I need to work, the things that I need to work on. So that's why I really like sketching with this. But also I want to talk about its color because I love the exact red that it is. It's not very dark, and the ink is also very flowy. It just glides on top of your paper. So it's such a great sketching pen. It really doesn't require a lot of work for your wrists, which honestly sounds like such a minor problem, but almost all the time when I'm drawing, I sort of catch myself just tensing up so much. And I think it's because a lot of my paper has this texture to it, and I sort of have to work against that. But even when I'm working on that kind of paper, when I'm using this ballpoint pen, it really still just glides on top of it and makes the process so much more effortless. So yeah, I really love this. I get a pack of these every time I go out. When I do go out, it's the only art supply that I can get where I live. Usually most of my art supplies I have to order online, but these things I just see everywhere and I just get them whenever I can. So you can see with that pen, my sketch looks kind of very raw, and there's a lot of lines that are very unnecessary, but I like that about it. It makes me see exactly where I went with my sketch, and like I said, it makes me see which parts of the process I need to work on more. And then this next art supply I want to talk about is, I think, maybe the perfect foil to the red pen, and this is the Pilot G-tec gel pen. And the reason why these 2 are just perfect for each other is because I think they're the exact opposite of each other. So while the red one is buildable, it has a lighter ink when compared to the black, and its ink just flows on top of the paper. This one creates very solid lines, so there's no turning it to the side to get lighter strokes like the first one. This one is just so consistent all the way through, and the fact that its ink is so solidly black it makes this pen just show up like night and day on top of the red. So every time I think that I've done too much with the red, every time I think that I've made it too dark, I would just use this pen on top of that, and that will make those lines just vague again in comparison. Other than those, I think, more technical qualities to their pen being different, just the colors of them too make these 2 work together really well. The third thing that makes this the exact opposite of the Flexstick is that I think it's just the nib. So while the ballpoint pen makes ink that just glides on top of your paper, this one, I think it has more to do with the nib, that it's just so fine that it grips and holds onto the texture of the paper. So with the red one, I felt like I could experiment with it more. I could play around with the lines with that one. This one, I have to be very precise with where I put my lines. So the lines have to be exactly where I need them to be, so I can complete the picture of sort of that erratic sort of look of the first one. So I think in the end, the way I look at these pens is the red one I just use for sketching, and then the black one is my actual inking pen. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. So even though they're both technically ink pens, the black one just has more of the properties that we usually link to inking pens. But now I'm just adding colors with my Holbein colored pencils, and I'm specifically using my pastel colored pencils because I really like the way that I created those lines before that. So I don't want the pencils to overpower them, and if I had chosen the colors that are too bright and poppy, it would have completely drowned out those lines underneath. So this one is more about separating the elements of the drawing rather than coloring the whole thing. So I'm just making sure that her clothes are a different color from her skin and her armor. Is that what it's called? On a side note, I saw the comments for this one on Pinterest, and someone said finally I'm talking about the reference photo. Someone said that finally there's a reference photo of someone holding the guns the right way. So that's just one thing that I haven't really thought about. But yeah, apparently that's one of the things that people have to look for. But yeah, I'm going back to this one. I'm being very careful that the lines with the colored pencils are light, and I want to keep it that way. So really, in a way, these colored pencils, and specifically these pastel colored ones, also work really well with these art supplies. But the difference is with those pens, they're very singular, so you have to use them in exactly that way, and those very singular qualities to them make them work together. So with the G-tec pen, I don't want to sketch with it, I don't want to do my shading with it, because the lines are so consistent that it's hard to build up my values. And the opposite thing goes for the Flexstick red ballpoint pen. I don't want to do my inking with it because the colors with it are just so light, and it's hard to get very dark lines with it. So yeah, those things are very singular, just the right way for them to be perfect for each other. And the colored pencils also work in this case, but colored pencils can be used in a lot of different ways. You can create your own complete pictures with just these. But I can't always say that for the ballpoint pens and the G-tec pen. Now I'm just finishing the whole piece by darkening up the details and making sure it stands up on its own. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for being so patient with me. I've really been sick for a while, and I haven't been responding to comments because I'm trying to take it easy. But the next one should be good with my oil paints. I'm hoping you'll enjoy that one too, even though it will take longer than my other videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching once again, and I will see you again soon.